This is a look at the Ninjutso Sora, a new mouse from Ninjutso. It comes around 45 grams, has USB Type-C charging and up to 70 hours of battery life, and has Huano pink dot switches. Because the Ninjutso Sora has Huano pink dots, it shouldn't double click like the Pulsar X2 Mini. I feel like it's actually a larger Pulsar X2 Mini, just slightly bigger. As you can see here on EloShapes, it's just that slightly bit bigger. If you want a pretty solid mouse, I'd actually go for the Ninjutso Sora. It's actually a really good price, feeling really comfortable with it and like it a lot. I actually got this mouse from ZerkGamingMods.co.uk. I always find there that they have really nice products when I'm trying to find something and I just can't seem to find it elsewhere. They have a lot of good stuff available over there, you should totally check them out. In the box you get a mouse, manual, USB-C cable, USB wireless dongle and a little extension to put onto the USB-C cable. The skates that are included seem to be a bit larger than the ones that are actually on the mouse, so if you want to change those you can too. Good to have an extra set of skates. On the bottom of the mouse you'll see an on-off button, DPI button, and a little storage place to put your USB dongle. Be handy if you want to carry your mouse around. You also see a USB Type-C on the front. It looks a little bit tight, so I don't know about aftermarket cables. So here's a quick look at the software, and I've set everything back to default. What I found strange is out of the box is that the polling rate is set to 500Hz. So straight away you should put that up to 1000, because that shouldn't be at 500Hz. You get the most of your mouse at 1000Hz. Lift off distance is set to 1mm, and I just left the power management and debounce time at the same. DPI on the other hand I increased from 800 to 1600 myself. The battery indicator is good, but one thing I don't like is while the mouse is charging, it doesn't show you anything percentage wise. But on the mouse it does blink a green light, which goes solid when it's done. When I first plugged the mouse into charge, I noticed there was some mouse delay, but after I updated the firmware it seemed to fix that, so that was a little odd issue. Ghostglides from the UK reached out to me to send me their focus pad. It comes in 400 by 350mm, or a larger 500 by 530mm in a few months. I'm fine with the smaller size. It's a really nice pad on my desk and I'm liking it a lot. The pad also has a nice stitched edge, so it shouldn't fray. It also doesn't budge on your desk with a solid rubber coating on the bottom. It does come rolled up in a box, but once you put it on your desk, it flattens itself out in no time. Their arm sleeve's really nice too. I'll have their Twitter linked in the description below, along with their website. So after giving the Ninjutso Sora a go, I had a look on Google for Ninjutso Sora issues, and it seems like a lot of people have been having sensor issues. There seems to be a few on MouseReview on Reddit. Here from FrogInTheBead, they show a Ninjutso Sora sensor issue, but it seems like they're moving the mouse around a lot, and then the sensor spins out or something strange happens with it. But in the comments, Ninjutso Bill, which is a Ninjutso rep, this seems to be a defective unit, so it's a small issue according to them. They're saying that they will replace your mouse if you have this issue, but just keep in mind that you may have a faulty one, but it seems to be very limited. Well, I hope so anyway. So I do recommend the Ninjutso Sora if you don't have any of those issues. It's honestly a solid mouse with Huano switches, along with a PixArt 3395 sensor. I feel like if you have this mouse you'll end up enjoying it. I quite like it. Yeah, I recommend picking this one up. Now here are some side-by-sides. Here it is next to the Ninjutso Katana Superlight Wireless. I kinda call this a chunkier but rounder G Pro X Superlight. Another mouse from Ninjutso. Here it is next to the Debounce HTS Plus 4K. I quite enjoy the shape of this mouse. The hump might be a bit bigger. 4000Hz on the mouse is really nice. I wish the Sora had something like that. Here it is next to the Finalmouse Starlight 12 Poseidon Small. I prefer the smaller Finalmouse. Here it is next to the Finalmouse Starlight Pro TenZ Medium. I quite like the colour of the TenZ. The Razer Viper Ultimate. This might help a lot of people with the size since a lot of people have this mouse. Next to LuceOut Overlight or Logitech G Pro X Superlight. This is like a 38g G Pro X. Quite like LuceOut's mice. Totally check his out. Here it is next to the Logitech G305. A popular mouse that a lot of people definitely have. I think it's a bit wider. Here it is next to the Logitech G502. I had this one for a couple of years. So a lot of people have this one for sure. A chunky ergonomic mouse. Here it is next to the Logitech G903. A larger wireless mouse that I had for a few years. I had a double click issue, but then I fixed it by getting new switch PCBs. Here it is next to the XTRFY MZ1. A quite small and strange shaped mouse with a large hump on the back. Here it is next to Crafted Mice's Chimera 104. A nice shape from Crafted Mice. This is Logitech G Pro X Superlight internals. Crafted Mice Chimera 94. This is Razer Viper V2 Pro internals. I quite like the shape, it's good for fingertip. Next is Zaunkoenig M2K. This is probably the world's most insane mouse. 24 grams, just really small, and carbon fiber shell. Next the PMM Mods P-CBR 8K. This also uses the Zaunkoenig M2K PCB. I've also put some upgrades on it, like an Enco air cord and sapphire skates. Next the PMM Mods TenZ Superlight. Uses Logitech G305 internals. It's a bit like a G Pro X Superlight, but smaller. Next the PMM Mods UL2 / Starlight S shape. It's somewhere around the size of a Finalmouse small, and a Ultralight 2 from Finalmouse. I want to say thanks a lot to ZerkGamingMods for having a lot of availability for mice in the UK. I also want to say thanks to Ghostglides for sending over their Focus mousepad. Links to both ZerkGaming and Ghostglides will be in the description below. Consider liking and subscribing to my channel. If you like watching my content, then check out my Twitter, which will be linked below. I'm quite active there. You can also find a link to my Instagram, which has a lot of tech images and gaming mice and things like that. Check out my link tree there too, that'll have everything on it. Thanks a lot for watching.